Hello, angels, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Celia. I am a 6-2 projector and a light worker with the mission of creating heaven on earth. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Atlantis and Lemuria. A lot of souls came here at this time in the history of Earth to heal their trauma from Atlantis and Lemuria because it is a portal where we get to heal a lot of past life experiences. And at the same time, we also have beings that are kind of manipulating these traumas in order to create more cataclysmic events because everything has to be created through the human creative energy. So it is really a time for us to heal these traumas so that we can actually be part of creating heaven on earth. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the signs that you either have a Lemurian or Atlantis trauma and what are some of the things you can do to heal it. So let's start with Lemuria. What are some of the signs of having a Lemurian past life trauma? So Lemuria was a beautiful society, very connected with nature, but it ended up self-destructing because it was too much in the feminine energy and didn't have a strong enough masculine basis. So if you have past life in Lemuria, you will tend to be very strong in your feminine energy in this life, but again, have trouble with the masculine energy. So a challenge for you is to set boundaries. You may also struggle a little bit with financial life, with actually surviving in the 3D world, and in general, taking action, getting things done. You might be very good at dreaming, but not so good at actually doing things. Another sign that you have Lemurian background is also that you feel very connected with water. You feel very good around water, and that in general, you only feel at home when you are in nature. Or for you with the Lemurian past life trauma is to learn to set boundaries and strengthen your masculine energy in this life because it was the lack of this energy or it was that imbalance that caused the destruction of the Lemurian society in the first place. So that's what you can implement on a practical day-to-day basis. And in general, I highly recommend you to hire a skilled shaman or someone who can help you clear the pattern from your field so that you no longer have to walk around with that memory weighing you down in your system, and even more importantly, so that you are not susceptible to some of the mass manipulation that's happening on an energetic level, manipulating these past life traumas in order to create more fear and chaos in society. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, stay tuned for the end. And let's dive into Atlantis. So if you have Atlantis background, then it's a little bit the opposite because Atlantis was very strong in the masculine energy, but it did is destruct because of an attack, but the attack only happened because there was a disconnect with the feminine, with the intuition. So if you have past life trauma from Atlantis, you might be a masculine strength person, so you might know very well how to get things done, how to do things, how to have boundaries, all these things. But the challenge for you is a little more on how to connect with your intuition, how to rest, how to be creative, how to connect more with that feminine patient energy. Secondly, you might also have a distrust of technology. You might really not like technologies. You might be scared of flying airplanes, for instance, because you fear that the technology is going to fail you. And you might not at all like the whole idea about AI. A little bit of a lone wolfer tendency. So I see a tendency from pe people with past life in Atlantis that they're like, there's a distrust kind of happening within them. So they prefer to do things on their own. But this is not coming from a healthy place, it's coming from a trauma. And then you might also experience loving very clear and clean minimalistic environments with a modern touch and having lots of crystals in your environment because that was very much the Atlantis vibe. Um, and that's basically it. Of course, there's more for each of the roles, but these are the major elements. And as well with Atlantis, one of the things for you to work on in this life is to connect more with your intuition, to learn to trust others, to learn to build a little bit more community. Lemurian people are very strong in community. This was one of their strengths. And Atlantis people were a lot more individualistic. So for you to learn to build a little more community, and then, of course, like the Lemurian trauma, I invite you to clear it from your field because otherwise, if, for instance, I will speak from my experience, I am Atlantis descendant. I had terrible fear of flying airplanes because I felt out of control. And it came from this Atlantis past life trauma. Also, I didn't like technology, distrusted technology a lot, always been a lone wolfer, always wanted to do things by myself. And so I learned much more the energy of building community, the energy of yeah, just, tapping more into my intuition, my feminine energy has really helped balance me a lot. And then, of course, I also went in and I directly cleared the past life trauma through shamanic energy medicine. And this is one of the tools that I work with, highly recommended, because that's where we're capable of actually seeing where there are imprints in your field. We can clear them. And if there's been soul loss, aka like part of your soul stayed behind in any of those experiences, then we can call the soul back again. Um, yeah, if you're curious to know more about that, you can read down below. And I'm curious to hear in the comments whether you have Atlantis, Lemuria descendants, and let's do the work to clear this so that you no longer contribute to this agenda of like another cataclysmic event. Because the truth is, heaven on earth is a potential reality. It's a possibility that we could live right now, and I'm working to make it probable. And in order to make that probable, we have to clear the collective wounds of another disaster because we as humans are the ones that are creating the future. And it all comes from our subconscious and the deeper parts within us. And so, if we can clear whatever is hiding in the shadows, the negative memories, the whatever it is, we can actually focus on creating a future for our planet that's beautiful in harmony with nature and alignment with God and all of these things. And that's the mission we're working on here in my work on my channel. So come join us if you're curious to join along. And also, we are starting a free Heaven on Earth movement. So click below to join. This is a movement that's happening on Telegram. And we will have monthly calls, we will have practices, we will have tips, everything in alignment for you to be part of creating heaven on earth so that we can create a society where every soul gets to live in sovereignty, in freedom, in love, in light, and to decide their life on their own terms. So I'm really excited to have you come along. All the info below, both for the shamanic energy medicine and for the free heaven on earth um, movement. So yes, I cannot wait to see you.